good, family? I want to thank everybody that's been rocking with me, and yeah, I got this little number right above my little webcam. I'm trying to make them numbers go up. You know what I'm saying? I'm dropping reactions every time I drop. I'm dropping 2 a day. You feel me? It might end up being 3 a day. It's just y'all gotta boost the numbers up. Y'all gotta hit that smash button, that notification bell. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Let's grow together, man. If you're new to the channel, most definitely hit that notification bell, hit that smash like button, all that. So today's video, we're gonna do something different. I was working on a different video, but you know, I was like, nah, this is too, you know what I mean, it's too much. But I found this one, and I'm gonna work on it. And this is a teen killer forced to tell mom about his crimes. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see what we can get into today, because you know, there's a lot of YNs out there that want to be sliding, hiding, catching hats. You feel me? All that. So we finna get into this.
Do you see where she's hit at?
No, it's on the side of her head. They're saying she's pregnant too. Take a deep breath.
This woman was just informed that her daughter, Teyaurra Harris, was shot in a gang-related incident and is in critical condition.
The blood just started dripping from her head, like she in the ambulance. Like, I can't even talk right now, bro.
Her boyfriend rushed her to the hospital, but sadly, it was already too late. And the worst part, Teyaurra had nothing to do with the shootout. She was an innocent bystander. A simple mix-up left an innocent, pregnant mother of 2 dead, her children now motherless, and her family absolutely heartbroken. The police now face a grueling investigation. However, with everyone involved supposedly being gang members, catching the...
So they went to go slide on their ops and hit the wrong person. I feel like I did this video before, or I've seen it on Facebook before.
Free in the app by 2/18. When you switch to TurboTax, do it yourself.
You need 3 cushy layers of clothes and
The killers would prove to be much harder than anything they'd done before. We've been in touch with Yolanda, the mother featured in this video, and are proud to share that half of the video's profits will be donated to the Akron-based charity First Glance Student Center. At 7:29 p.m. on April 14th, Akron Police Department would receive multiple calls reporting...
Yeah, that's crazy. Akron is like an hour away from me, no back. Like, when I be going shopping, I be going to Canton. Most of the time, we went to Akron. We went downtown Akron, me, my girl, and the kids, and like, we was riding scooters and whatnot, having fun. Like, you feel me? So it's like, Akron is not far from me at all. Like, I'm right here in the middle of Canton, Akron, Cleveland, all that.
Dozens of gunshots being fired out of 1492 Rockaway Street. Witnesses would describe what seemed like a gang-related shooting, with multiple cars speeding away from the scene, one being a silver 4-door Chevy. Police managed to quickly track down the Chevy, following it as the driver sped across back roads in Akron. However, the Chevy wasn't actually running from the cops. It instead would pull over somewhere that concerned the cops even more: the hospital.
There's someone in the car still.
Hey, hold up. 5807. 5807.
Go ahead and shut the car off. Shut the car off. Shut the car off. Here, go ahead and put your hands on top of your head, all right? Nope. Hands on top of your head. Step up. Step up.
Well, do we have someone checking High Street?
All right, man. Here, step back here to the back of the car. Go ahead and put your hands behind your back.
With the incident being reported as a gang-related shootout, police would assume the man driving the Chevy to be a gang member, meaning he would be very unlikely to talk to them. So instead, they decide to stop him in the back of a patrol car for later interrogation. As this was going on, dozens of additional 911 calls would ring in, witnesses would arrive at the Akron Police Department to give their testimonies, and more cars would arrive at the hospital. Most importantly, though, 4 miles away, a young woman would be placed in an ambulance under critical condition with a bullet wound to her head. Turns out all of this would be connected to a large group of reckless shooters. It's at this point
So now y'all bounce out broad daylight. Gotta get that fuck, 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 fuck. Broad daylight. Multiple people in the Akron area called 911 to multiple gunshots being fired. Y'all on camera, so y'all jump out. Fuck, 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 fuck. Blowing. You hear me? Straight blowing. Y'all all get caught for
that we need to step in. This is one of the most complex and mysterious cases we've ever covered, so we need to break down some details first in order for you to fully understand the case itself and how well the police handled every single step of solving it. At 7:22 p.m., a car arrived at 1492 Rockaway Street carrying a number of people who started hanging out with some friends on the side of the road. This group included Javier Small, Lanier Worthy, and Jonte Smith. Everything seemed fine until
out of this group, this gang-related group, somebody in that group is going to crack. Because most of the time, when y'all all get booked for something like this, and somebody got basically killed, somebody going to crack, bro. It's always a gang, it's always a person in that gang that can't take the pressure. He's going to fold, bro. He's going to crack. So before I even get into the rest of this video, I wanted to say that.
7:29 p.m., a black vehicle reversed into the street carrying Teyaurra Harris and her boyfriend George. Her boyfriend recognized some of the people on the sidewalk and wanted to back up and say hi to them. At that very moment, on the other end of the street, 3 men emerged from an unrelated vehicle and started firing bullets. On the other end of the street,
So boom. So bro recognized some of the people right there walking. He wanted to back up just to say hi. And then from the other end of the block, you got a car sitting there with people in it. They bounce out instantly, get the blow. You feel me? Hold up, bro.
boyfriend George. Her boyfriend recognized some of the people on the sidewalk and wanted to back up and say hi to them. At that very moment, on the other end of the street, 3 men emerged from an unrelated vehicle and started firing bullets.
This man right here, hold on.
From an unrelated...
The man that got out right here, he couldn't even control his weapon, gang. He couldn't even blick right. Folks blicking and falling at the same time, bruh. On bro. Wow.
vehicle and started firing bullets. These men were Zaire Saunders, 17-year-old Antonil Whitaker, and Darren Rackley, all affiliated with the gang BBM, a notoriously violent gang active in Akron at the time. There was also the driver of the car, Jeremiah Williams. Their shots scattered the group on the sidewalk, with everyone running for cover. In the panic, Jonte and Javier drew their guns and began to shoot back. Bullets went back and forth, and everyone went into a panic as they realized their lives were at risk and a bullet could strike them at any moment. Seconds later, the dust settled, and the BBM members Zaire, Antonil, and Darion fled the scene. However, a grueling silence would ring throughout the street as Teyaurra's boyfriend George realized Teyaurra was the sole victim of the shooting. With BBM splitting up and running in different directions, George flooring it to the hospital, and everyone on the sidewalk either heading inside or preparing to head to the hospital too, cops would begin the grueling task of figuring out what just happened, and who, ultimately, was the one that fired the killing shot. Now that you understand...
From the hill. It had to be, because listen, bro, George drove off. She's in her boyfriend's car. As the shots ring out, he fled. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting up out of here. I'm not going to sit here. You feel me? So, and it can't come from, if he's this way, and the people that return fire is facing this way, you feel me? it's not coming from them. So obviously it got to come from BBM because they firing this way. You feel me? So at the end of the day, it had to come from BBM, bro.
Exactly what happened, we can join the police as they try to figure out what just went down and how to solve the developing mystery. Remember that all the cops have received at this point is a phone call alerting them to the shooting and a description of the silver Chevy they've just pulled a gang member from.
There's another victim that's at we don't know where that victim's going to go. There's a possibility that victim may be deceased.
Yeah, they got shot. Okay. They got.
Someone's got to go check, probably.
Have you ever wondered why we are paid every 2 weeks when we work every day? With EarnIn, you can access your pay the same.
Two of the officers ran over to the front of the hospital and discovered Javier Small and his girlfriend in complete distress.
He can't go with you in that room.
Because she's got to go to get checked out. Hang tight. Let's go back up.
As it turns out, another girl was also hit in the shooting. That being this man's girlfriend. Luckily, she was only shot in the leg, but he was still extremely distraught and horrified about the whole incident.
Bro, I'm on house arrest.
I know exactly what he want to do, bro. He just said, bro, I'm on house arrest, bro. And then his girl get shot in the leg for, like, he want to go get his get back, period, point blank.
I gotta go to the hospital. I gotta go to the hospital with my girl, bro.
We'll get you. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back out and tell you how she gonna be fine.
I just got in the car. I don't know, bro. Your girl just got shot, bro. No.
Despite how distraught this guy is, he was a passenger in the Chevy, which they just found multiple firearms inside of. So police promptly arrested him.
Hey, Palpy, we'll take him over here.
Buddy ass was the passenger of the Chevy they just pulled over and took the gang member out of, and bro just say he on house arrest. Like he finna get it. Let's see what's about to happen.
Across town, however, there's someone in a much worse position. Teyaurra Harris, the passenger in the black car.
Can I open that up?
Alright. They're saying she's pregnant too.
How pregnant is she? How far along?
2 weeks pregnant. Okay.
2 weeks.
Maybe 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
44, there is a firearm. I think the pulse was done.
Am I allowed to ride in the car with her though to the hospital?
Not right now. I'm sorry, man.
Bro, Yanni just got shot. I mean, T just got shot. Bro, just in the car, just driving down the street in Kenworth, driving from over there, and they just was shooting. None of the glass broke, but she wasn't like moving or talking. So I just brought her, and the blood just started dripping from her head. Like, bro, we see in the hospital. She's in the ambulance. Like, I can't even talk right now, bro.
Teyaurra was immediately rushed to the local hospital, and her boyfriend George was brought in for questioning. He wasn't a lead suspect, but police did find it odd that he just happened to arrive at the site of a violent shooting right as it all went down. He would claim to be innocent and actually provide a detailed description of everything that went down that night.
You turned off here, so...
No, I didn't. I came this way.
So basically, it is kind of weird how you pull up and you back out at the same time. The shooters, they hopping out. I mean, me doing the reaction, it does seem kind of odd, big bruh. You feel me? So let's hear what he got to say since he's been interrogated.
I said, what y'all got? Like, what y'all got going on over here? Like, I'm like basically saying y'all good.
Right.
As soon as I said that, somebody from down here got to just shooting a gun that just kept shooting. That's all I know. But I didn't hear nobody or nothing like that.
So you're right there, and then you heard how many shots did you hear?
Man, I can't even recall. It was a lot. And then as soon as I said
So you were facing this way?
No.
You literally backed all the way on.
Say I'm coming down here in this right way. Like, this would be right way.
Okay.
Down, I backed up.
Oh, so you back? So the back of your car was facing that way?
And I'm like, is y'all? I'm like, what y'all got going on? Like, I look out just like that.
Like out the window?
Like, as soon as I even it should have been me. Like, you feel me? Because I'm the one that looked straight out the window. Like, are y'all all right? Y'all good? Type stuff.
The cops asked him why he was even there in the first place, to which he just said he knew a couple of people on the street and that he had absolute.
I hate when the cops do that. Like, they always got to ask you, what was you there for in the first place? Like, I know it's asking questions, but bro, if the man telling y'all he's not involved in this shooting, why are y'all not believing him?
No involvement in the shooting. He's claiming that when he peeked out the window, his friends mistook him for the shooter and began to fire bullet after bullet directly at his vehicle. According to him, it wasn't an accident, but a misunderstanding, making the whole situation even more tragic. With George's statement, they were a little clearer on the whole situation. But they'd made no progress into actually solving the case or tracking down the real perpetrators. That was until they returned to the scene and spoke to a number of witnesses who had watched the entire event take place.
It was two African Americans.
Where were they running?
Young kids. They come from back there across this backyard next door and out the driveway.
They hopped the fence.
Black. He had a face mask on and had a 9mm. And then the other one had a semi-automatic rifle, and they were almost to the corner of the house running this way, and they both jumped the fence. Like when the kid in the hoodie jumped the maroon hoodie jumped the fence, he dropped the semi-automatic rifle at the driveway.
I was just out back cutting some stuff, and all I heard was just a barrage of bullets, fully auto. It wasn't 3-round burst, 4-round. It was.
Everybody be asking me, man, does the Bluetooth actually work?
Bro, you get a month for...
It was fully auto.
Coming off fast.
Oh yeah, hot and loud and fast. And then I saw two guys, when I was out back, I could see through the backyards, through the fence, I saw a silhouette of two guys running up towards that street, returning single shots as they were running away.
Okay. There's casings up here.
Oh, you found something?
Yeah.
I got more.
Okay.
How many did you hear, you think?
It was like 30.
Like where all these cones are at, probably that amount?
30 or 40. But this happens over there all the time.
Where's over there?
Right there, the house right there.
I heard a lot of gunfire, but when I first heard it, I thought it was a backfire because I saw this car sitting over here where all the cones are, and he had his lights on.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought he was working on a car and it backfired real bad. Then I saw them loading people into cars to take them to the hospital, and I knew it wasn't, because this has happened so many times before. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Right.
We can't go outside, nothing.
Even with all the...
Yeah, so she just said this happened so many times before, and they don't even know what to do. She said they can't even go outside, sit on the porch if they want to, bro, without bullets. Basically, without bullets flying past their dome.
New information, though, the cops are only slightly closer to figuring out what happened. They were now at least able to confirm that one group of shooters rolled up and started the exchange before another responded, causing a huge exchange of bullets throughout the neighborhood. But they still had two major questions. Who were the shooters, and how was Teyaurra involved? Well, the cops had just spotted another witness that might be able to answer their questions. A woman who was actually on the street the moment the bullets started flying.
So you don't live here?
I'm not even from here.
So who owns the house?
Anitra Johnson.
She is? Okay.
She was out to eat when I called her.
Okay. Everyone's okay though, right? The kids?
The kids, yes.
Yeah,
the kids are okay. I got them in the back watching TV.
Okay.
There was another girl outside. I think she got shot in the thigh or the leg. I think they took her probably to the hospital.
Okay.
She definitely got hit.
Okay. So what did you see?
I'm sitting outside. To be honest, we all family. So we're all outside prayer wrestling, like act like we hitting each other and stuff. Next thing I know, I just heard these gunshots. I'm like, all right, was that a BB gun? Come through shooting.
Yeah.
And it was like, pow, pow, pow. They came through again. So I'm running up, I didn't even know where the gunshots came from. I'm running up, trying to.
Yo, that's crazy, bro. It's all unknown, too, because, listen, she literally just said, gang, that she was outside. She said, we all family, we outside, play wrestling. Then all of a sudden, you just hear gunfire rush. Bow, 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 bow. You feel me? Like, golly, bro. Akron, what is up with y'all, bro? Like, I'm over here in Steubenville, bro. Akron is an hour away from me, bro. What is going on, bro?
The kids, they came through twice.
Okay. Did the house get hit at all?
I mean, I don't even fuck. Is that a bullet hole right here? I don't know. I was really just trying to grab the kids.
And you said it, so what? They got out. They got out of a car.
They didn't even get out of the car.
Or they just started. They were hanging out.
They was
shooting?
hanging out shooting.
Okay. Did you see how many by chance?
Three.
Three of them. Okay.
Now it's starting to sound a lot more like a drive-by shooting, notoriously one of the hardest types of crimes to solve, especially if the vehicle was stolen. The cops are starting to lose confidence that they'll ever find.
They jumped out, bro. If it was a drive-by, the car just came past and let the windows down and just start firing. These boys parked, jumped out, got straight to business.
Teyaurra's killer, but then they decide to ask one simple question.
Ma'am, do those cameras work?
I believe so.
Okay.
She on her way home.
Oh, she is? Okay, perfect.
There were CCTV cameras on the property, and as soon as the homeowner got back, they'd have access to the footage. So in just a few hours, the cops were able to put together just enough footage to understand exactly what happened. Remember, we already know all of this. But for the police, this was huge. Now they had a detailed timeline of the entire incident, including at what time it went down, how many people were involved, and which vehicles the suspects used. This would be very useful in the coming interrogations in terms of verifying their suspects' claims and pressuring them to confess. Police finally had a solid piece of evidence, and right as their case had started to build some substance, their biggest lead yet would step out right in front of them.
I have video of them carrying the girl that got shot.
I can put it on an SD card.
And that's not the same one that was at
She'll send her.
Y'all, the state media is trying to keep you in the dark, so pay close attention before this gets taken down. They just offered
her a link and then she can just upload it from there.
They got all this camera footage, bro, from people's houses. Dude, in the background, talking about I can put it on an SD card and bring it down to you guys. Basically, they gonna pop it in at the police station and watch the whole thing. What time it happened, what time it was done, bro. I hope that George dude was not involved in this, bro. I hope he was not a decoy, you know. But just keep watching.
Right after they took off.
Not only had they seen the entire thing go down, but as soon as they heard gunshots, they started recording. They managed to get this clear footage of a man getting into the same vehicle spotted at the shooting just minutes earlier. Now all they needed to do was track down the car using the visible license plate, and they'd have their first lead suspect. But with that said, these kids were no strangers to running from the police, and the officers would begin the hunt to find these evil teens. While all of this was going on, police had another, perhaps more nerve-wracking situation to handle. Teyaurra had passed away, and her family had no idea.
Currently not letting too many people in the hospital. Let's step over here and see where all these cruises are.
My car okay? I'm
Where's
right
your car
here.
at?
I'm right here because I didn't know.
Rest in peace, Teyaurra, man. It's crazy because her family don't even know she passed away, bro. They probably just thinking like she in critical care or something. You know what I'm saying? Bro. Let's finish watching, man.
This one.
Right here.
Sorry. Okay. What's your daughter's name? You're here for your daughter?
Teyaurra Harris.
Teyaurra Harris. Say, have you stand right here next to this sign. We'll have someone go over and talk to you, okay? Take a deep breath.
Is she okay?
I don't know the names of who they are currently, miss.
Just listen to the cop's tone here. He knows just how bad things are looking for Teyaurra, and he absolutely doesn't want to break that news to her mother yet, especially when he sees just how emotional she's starting to get. Teyaurra's autopsy showed a single bullet struck her in the head and remained there. While tragic, this information would allow police to identify the exact bullet type and then gun used to shoot Teyaurra. If they could find the owner of this gun, they would be able to match it to the bullet, and justice could be served for Teyaurra and her family.
Hey, come here!
They got a bunch of people showing up.
That's my son and my nephew.
Okay, well, listen, they can't go in. It's going to be you.
What's up, bro? I know this going
Y'all go in the car. Go in the car.
They telling us to wait outside.
No, I'm going in. Go in my car.
The entire family is in distress, with her mom shaking and doing everything she can to stay strong in front of her kids.
Come on, bro. Why would you do that? Damn. No, I'm doing my video. No, I have to use the Bluetooth. You just cut my whole video out, dude.
And it only got worse from there. At around 8:30 p.m., they were informed that Teyaurra didn't make it. A bullet to the back of the head had ended her life, sending her family into complete grief and agony. Now, police knew that they absolutely had to catch the people that did this to Teyaurra, or risk letting down her and her entire family. At this point, police had 6 different suspects on the run, all tied to the shooting, and they would eventually manage to track down and get interrogations with all of them. Their start came in the form of a Facebook post by someone named Jeremiah Williams, described as a member of the BBM gang. Apparently, the post consisted of him bragging about being at the shooting and escaping without getting caught. By using his Facebook profile, they'd find his address and pick him up for interrogation. With Jeremiah also being a supposed gang member, he too would prove to be extremely difficult to break. However, by using expert methods, police would actually get him to break completely, to the point where he actually started to cry.
You want some tissue? Yeah, that's true. How's it going, Jeremiah? Pretty good. Sorry for the wait, man. I'm Detective Smith. This is Detective Davis. Nice to meet you.
That old phone laying around.
Alright, man. So the reason why we have you sitting here talking to us is we need you to think back to April. There's an incident that happened on Rockaway. You remember this? This young lady got shot. You remember hearing about that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so during our investigation, your name's been coming up. But do you know about where you were that day, if you can? Or
I was definitely at home.
Apparently, Jeremiah also has an alibi, and even gives multiple names over that'll attest he wasn't on Rockaway that night.
You're at home. Yeah. Where was that, at Amherst?
Amherst. This was right before my mom moved to Louisiana. My best friend, Rob, talked to her sister, the girl that died, her sister, Dayani, or Diane, or however you say her name. My best friend, Rob, was like in the kind of little...
Like dating?
Yeah, with her sister. Okay. And it was crazy. We got on Facebook and it was all over Facebook. Her sister had got killed and stuff. And my mom was like, ain't that the girl that came over here the other day? And we like, no, that was her little sister.
Has her little sister reached out to you guys or anything?
We haven't talked to her, and I don't talk to her at all for real, but.
So you were at your house on Amherst?
Yeah.
Was there anyone?
Stop! I'm in the middle of recording and you keep cutting me out. No, I'll disconnect when I'm done. God damn.
It was April.
However, the detectives know this to be untrue. They know he was at the scene from the Facebook post he made. They know he did it, so they get a confession, or even better, some information that might help put more people in handcuffs. The thing is, they're initially going to find that a lot harder than they'd hope.
I have to ask, do you recognize this car?
Yeah, this was the car that was in that video. That's on Facebook.
So you remember it? Yeah. Have you ever been in this car?
No.
Do you know who drives this car or owns this car?
I don't know him by like name, but I know who he is. His name like Pa or something.
Pa?
That's what they call him.
Do you know, can you describe him?
That's funny because I don't even really know what he looks like. Like, I mean, every time I've seen him with a ski mask on.
Okay.
Like I've never seen him outside of a ski mask.
Okay. All right. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your past. Like, have you ever been in trouble or anything?
Yeah, I'm actually right now. I got probation.
So like just a weapons possession charge is all you got?
It's like carrying a concealed firearm in a motor vehicle.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Jeremiah is making a conscious attempt to give as little information over as possible while still trying to seem cooperative. He's smart. He doesn't want to completely close himself off, as that'll make him seem guilty, but he also doesn't want to give up any vital information. The cops ask him who was there, where he was sitting in the car, even questions about the guns, but he refuses to speak, and he's starting to seriously frustrate the cops. But all this talk of courts and investigations doesn't seem to be getting them anywhere.
That's what dude should have said, bro. Before you started answering any of their questions, he should have said, give me a lawyer. But at the same time, he had an alibi. You know what I'm saying? Supposedly he got an alibi that he was at home that day.
At all. So instead, they switch gears. They're going to be as direct as possible and give it to him straight. That's their last hope at getting him to crack.
What do your friends call you? Do you have a nickname or anything?
Jay.
We're just getting to know you, man.
Right.
Obviously, we can see that you're not a bad person. Just the vibes I'm getting.
Yeah, for sure.
But you're in here talking to us for a reason, and it comes back down to this incident. You being honest with us is what we'll be able to work with you. We know that you were there, and we also got your DNA in this car.
If I've been in that car, I would tell you guys I've been in that car. I don't have no reason to lie or no reason to put myself in any trouble.
Your role in it is the driver, because we know you're the driver. Really what we're looking for is why. You're already being charged with the incident. You explaining your actions and what really went down is just going to help with your role in this. We know you didn't pull the trigger, but you not being honest with what went down is not going to help you. It's going to, the prosecutor and the judge and jury are going to look at someone who's not remorseful.
Drove over there and they started shooting.
So they told you to drive over to Rockaway?
Yeah.
Who was sitting where in the car?
In the front, and Zebo sitting behind me, and then Pa sitting on the door.
Listen, for anybody seeing this video for the YNs, bro, specifically for the YNs, because I'm almost 30. Them days is over with, like, you know what I'm saying, trying to get in the car, trying to slide. Most of the time, man, if y'all gonna do something like that, do it by yourself, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because, listen, like I just said at the beginning of this video, somebody somewhere in this video that's all getting booked, somebody's going to rap. And what I mean by rap, they're going to tell it all. You feel me? And that's exactly what he's doing right now to help his case. You know what I'm saying? Even though they know he was there, but yeah, they know he was there. They said they got his DNA, and with the police tactics, I don't think they got his DNA for real. I think they just said it to see if he was going to crack or not. And it kind of worked, because that's exactly what he did. He cracked.
It worked. The cops actually got a name. It was a nickname, but cops could eventually tie this back to a man named Zaire Saunders, who would be interrogated later. This was huge. They'd actually gotten a gangster to tell on one of his partners. But they weren't done yet. They knew he still had more information, and they weren't going to stop putting on the pressure now.
We got to go back to who was in the car with you. I know you know Zebo. Pa, you say you just know him by Pa. Do you know his real name? Okay. And the third person, you're saying how often have you seen him? Would you be able to identify that last person by a picture?
Jeremiah physically looks defeated. He's avoiding eye contact and is hunched over. He likely never saw himself giving up the names of his partners, but that's exactly where he found himself. The cops, however, are over the moon, even managing to get descriptions of the people he doesn't know the names of. They ask a few more questions before leaving him alone for a minute to prepare their next move. However, on their return, they didn't expect to see Jeremiah, a once tough and unbreakable gang member, to cry because of what he'd done.
What'd you say his first name was what?
Darian.
Is this him? You want some tissue, man?
He crying now, man. He crying now. Y'all wasn't crying when y'all went to go slide and killed that girl, bruh. Y'all wasn't sliding in. You feel me?
Verbal yes or no, that's it.
Yeah.
So we did.
If this is the first time you've seen...
He crying because he knows damn well he ain't got no more friends. After this round, he ain't got no more friends, bro. They threw everything at him. He cracked, he told, you know this, what's this man's name? He said, what do you say, Darian? And they flipped the picture over like, is this him? He gets it, yeah. You feel me? It's over with for him, bro.
A gang member cry, you're certainly not alone. But it actually happened again in the detective's very next interrogation. While these cops were busy talking to Jeremiah, a breakthrough had been made outside of the interrogation room. Remember this footage recorded by a civilian witness earlier? Well, after 5 days of investigation, they actually managed to track the car down, enabling them to take in another suspect, Antonil Whitaker. Police would quickly realize that Antonil might be even more important than Jeremiah as a suspect. He's a supposed member of the BBM gang, and believed to be one of the suspects that initiated the shootout. The thing is, he's just 17 years old. Since there's still some information even Jeremiah couldn't give them, they figured they might be able to scare him into giving up everything he knows. And their first idea is an unconventional but possibly extremely effective method: a call home to mom.
Hello, Ma. This is really, really serious now. You need to put yourself wherever you was and get to telling with your part as much as you can, because you can't take the blame for this, and this was not you. You shouldn't be sitting here. They know it's your car. You can't get out of that. You're better than this.
Antonil doesn't even seem to feel like following his mother's advice. Despite the fact that they know it was his car, he's claiming that someone else was actually driving it that day. And even more unfortunately, he'd forgotten exactly who. Listen to his story and see if you believe it as much as the detectives do.
So you said you were at home?
No, like the whole day?
Someone took your car somehow, brought your car back, gave you the keys back or whatever, and then so you could take your sister home. That doesn't make sense, man. You know a jury, you know a judge. They're not. I'll be honest with you. I mean, what you're giving is not even a good statement. It's not even a good lie. That's why it'd probably be easier for you to tell the truth.
You see, about an hour after the shooting, Antonil was confirmed to have used his car to pick his sister up from an event, meaning it was clear that he was still in possession of it. But that didn't faze Antonil, and despite how many questions police asked him, he refused to give up anything.
How this works, you might already know this from TV, but I mean it's kind of accurate. We're going to compare your DNA to the DNA on the shell casings that we collected on scene. Is there any reason your DNA is going to be on there? Because if there is, you've got to explain that.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Pause. I could have swear at the beginning of the video, dude that did the video, he's talking about they had black ski mask on and gloves. Okay, you got latex gloves on. You ain't no DNA on no shell casing, my dude. Unless they loaded them guns up barehanded. Now, they had gloves on from the time they loaded them guns up and they fired them. There ain't no physical DNA on them, bro.
You said no, or I don't know.
I'm just trying to scare tactics, bro.
Who got in the car with you at all? If you're saying your DNA is not going to be on those shell casings, right? And you're saying you weren't driving. Who did you let drive your car? Believe it.
I don't know his name.
But now it looks like it's on you.
They're trying to force a confession out of him by telling him that if he'd been in physical contact with any of the evidence tied to the murder, they would find out and he would get sentenced. And they're not lying either. When you touch anything at all, you leave behind skin cells, sweat, small hairs, or even oils that can quickly be traced back to you. Meaning, if Antonil had touched the car, the bullets when loading his gun, or anything else related to the murder, police would find out. However, as of now, detectives haven't had the time to run these tests to confirm if his DNA was present, meaning they couldn't pressure him to a confession, and they'd have to wait until later. So in the meantime, they move their attention to the next suspect. Remember the man Jeremiah gave up to the cops back in his interrogation? That was Zaire Saunders. Once they had his name, they tracked him down and arrested him. And he would prove to be even more helpful than Antonil and Jeremiah combined.
Did you know of or hear about that young lady who got killed?
Yeah.
Did you know her?
No.
We don't think that she was the one meant to be hurt, and I mean, based on what we're seeing. But unfortunately, she did get obviously hurt. Her family's hurt.
Right.
You know, when we did that search warrant, we got your phone.
Yes.
Okay. And we downloaded your phone. And your location is putting you on Rockaway that day. No shit. What happened that day, man?
I shot a pistol. You shot a pistol? Yes.
This seems like a breakthrough.
Hey, he was straight up with it. He said, what happened that day? He said, I shot a pistol. He said, you shot a pistol? He said, yes. And you already got it? Okay, so when you did a search warrant, you got his phone, you downloaded his data onto your computer to see if he was around, see if the GPS location was around Rockaway that day. And come to find out it was around Rockaway that day. It's crazy as hell.
He's just admitted to being a part of the shooting, and it seems that all the detectives' work has just paid off. But they're not quite there yet. Of the 3 shooters, 2 did indeed use pistols, but one of them was actually yielding the extremely dangerous automatic rifle that can be seen clear as day in this footage here. Instead of jumping this fence after the shooting, the man with the rifle fled directly down Rockaway Street, and that's the direction Zaire's phone shows him running. The good news is, that clears Zaire of being the man that killed Teyaurra. After all, she was killed with a very specific pistol round. But that does put him directly in the spotlight of being the man with the most dangerous weapon, and one that is directly lying to the cops right now. And they're not about to let him get away with that.
We have video of the incident. You're on camera shooting a rifle.
Is it a pistol that holds, 2 rifle rounds?
Like, I mean, it ain't just. It is big.
Does it have a stock on it? Like something kind of modified type thing?
No, it didn't have a stock on it. So describe it then. I'm getting the money this rifle.
That single piece of information resulted in Zaire actually getting the highest sentence out of anybody involved in the case. Just the use of such a dangerous firearm actually increased his prison time by somewhere between 10 and 15 years. But he still doesn't know that yet. He's still under the guise that if he helps the detectives out, he might get a better deal. So not only did he tell them where to find the rifle he used, he also gave up one of the most vital pieces of information the cops had received in the entire case.
You said the group BBM? I just know they call it BBM. For real? BBM?
Zaire just told the cops the name of the gang that was involved, a huge piece of information that will help them track down every last individual that was part of this attack. Now the detectives have just one more final question that'll hopefully put together the final pieces of the puzzle they're looking for.
You've been extremely helpful throughout this whole interview. You're helping yourself out too. We gotta ask, whose idea was it?
I know for sure it wasn't mine. They just around, so we'll just say, yo, it's my dudes. But you got different dudes, and you got different, like, that's how they is. Well, like, they ain't say it right then and there, they said it on Facebook, like, but they was like, I knew they was talking on me, they just didn't say it directly to me, but I knew they was talking on me.
Mm-hmm. He just gave up the group chat where all of these shootings supposed.
So you got Jeremiah's statement, him cooperating with the law. You got his statement, him cooperating with the law. Only P says it's a 17-year-old boy won't cooperate with the law. You know what I'm saying? They know it's his car. They know it's a 17-year-old boy's car. They know it's his car, gang. So what he finna do next? He's only 17, so they can really charge him as an adult because somebody got killed in this process.
were planned. With this, police simply had to cross-reference the names in the group chat with the supposed shooters on the CCTV, and the names that had been mentioned in previous interrogations, giving them enough evidence to sentence all 6 of the shooters. But unfortunately, this was
File free in the app if you didn't use us last year. Just file with TurboTax Do-It-Yourself by February 18th.
Wasn't the resolution they'd hoped for. After examining all the weapons confiscated, it would turn out that none of them were a match to the bullet found in Teyaurra's head, meaning...
Hold up. So all them weapons y'all confiscated, ran DNA, ballistics on it, and whatever. None of them guns matched up to the gun that the bullet went to that little girl's head in. That shit is ridiculous.
They still couldn't tie any specific person to the actual murder. However, there is one puzzle piece we haven't told you about yet. The one that would solve this entire case. Watching the CCTV footage, it's clear that there is one man that directly shot at Teyaurra's vehicle. If you follow this man, dressed in all black, back through the CCTV, you can trace him all the way back to the driver's seat of this black truck. A black truck that, until now, the cops were completely unable to identify. But then, they received one final piece of footage from a witness, allowing them to track it back to the owner, 44-year-old mother, Kia Brown. Police realized they had to interview her, knowing that whoever was driving Kia's black truck that day killed Teyaurra Harris.
Hey, how you doing, ma'am?
How are you?
Good. I'm Detective Smith. This is Detective Davis with Akron Police.
Hi.
Hey, we wanted to talk to you or whoever is driving, who drives this truck, reference that incident that happened up the street. They were being shot at, and we're finally trying to catch up with them. Looked like a couple males. And have you heard about this?
I heard about what happened on the corner. This is my truck, but my son was driving.
It wasn't Kia, but her son driving the car that night. And after running his name, they'd find out he had ties to a rival gang of BBM. So the detectives had Kia call her son and hand over the phone to the officers.
I have some detectives here right now. The day that we were moving in, the incident that happened around the corner, they would like to speak with you. Do you have a moment? Can you go on break?
How you doing, man?
How you doing?
Good. I'm Detective Smith. I'm with Detective Davis with me. Hey, what's your name before we get started, bud? Lanier. All right, Lanier. How you doing, man? So listen, man, I won't keep too much of your time. We were wondering if we could talk with you and your mom maybe in person at some point, and we wanted to talk to you about that incident that happened up the street. We know you're over there, so we were hoping you could help us, actually. You're not in any trouble. We're actually hoping you could help us. Would there be a good day?
They in no trouble. They know the minute he arrived at his mom's house and they talk to him in person, they go on booking. That's usually how it goes.
For you to...
This weekend, fine?
Yeah. Sunday the 8th. Can we do it anytime after 2:30? Okay.
Anytime after 2:30?
All right, man. We appreciate it. We'll see you at 3:30.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Bye.
And just like that, they had an interview scheduled. And this was the final suspect at the scene that they hadn't yet spoken to. The man suspected to be the driver of the black truck and the man they think shot Teyaurra.
Dad, how you doing? What's up? Appreciate you talking with us. So, I mean, obviously you know why we're here. About that incident that happened up the street. So, we just wanted to know your perspective. That happened that day. What did you see? That type of stuff. Can you kind of run us through that day?
I was standing in the driveway on my phone. Then I heard shots. I got down, ducked. Then when the shots stopped, I heard that, ran to the car.
When the shots started happening, you ran and got in the driver's seat. And then Teen got in your passenger seat. Right? Okay.
That was it. Lanier had just told them he was driving the black truck that day, confirming he was the man in all black that drove the truck and hopped in the Chevy. He was the man that fired the bullets. So they decided to ask him up front.
I'm about to ask you something, man. I'm about to ask you from your parents. I'm sorry, but I've got to ask. Did you shoot that day?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Even though he said no, police already had all the evidence they needed. The car tied to him, his ties to the rival gang, and finally the video of him shooting at Teyaurra's car. So they arrested him on the spot and brought him in for interrogation.
What's up, man? Here you come.
Am I able to have a lawyer with me right now?
What's that?
Can I have a lawyer with me?
You can do whatever you want, man. I'm not here to... Okay. Are you saying you want your lawyer? You don't want to talk?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. He one of the first ones to ask for a lawyer, man. They know he was there. They know he was tied. They know he was the one driving the black truck that hopped in the Chevy. They know he the one that fired the gun at Teyaurra's boyfriend's car. I don't know why he even fired the shot at her car to begin with, because the niggas that was shooting was behind. So if you want to jump out and just... Hey, that one bullet cost her life, man.
Okay, alright.
But in the end, this wouldn't matter, as when they arrested and processed him, they managed to confiscate his gun. And after analyzing the forensics of the bullet inside of Teyaurra and Linier's gun, it was a match. Linier had fired the killing shot. After 5 months of investigation, all the puzzle pieces were finally in place. In total, 7 people were charged in this incident. Zaire Saunders was charged with involuntary manslaughter and 4 counts of felonious assault and was sentenced to 35 to 40 years. Antonil Whitaker and Jeremiah Williams got 20 to 24 years on similar charges, while the 4th assailant in this group, Darion Rackley, got 34 to 40 years. It was confirmed Antonil's DNA was in fact found on various bullet casings on Rockaway Street, despite his claims in the interrogation room. The next 2 to be sentenced were the ones who shot back at Zaire's group after being rolled up on. They were Javier Small and Jonte Smith, who were sentenced to 4 years and 2.5 years respectively. Lastly was Linier Worthy, Teyaurra's actual killer. However, as of this video's upload, he's still awaiting sentencing. Teyaurra and George were not involved in any of the gangs in the shootout and were found completely innocent. At long last, Teyaurra and her family could finally be at peace.
See, that's crazy, bro, because the 17-year-old boy, I knew it, bro. They was going to charge him as an adult, bro. That 17 shit is out the window, bro. Hey, it's out the window. They got every little piece of detail. They got people, the ones that was involved, they got people going into the interrogation room, telling, matching the evidence with the evidence, matching the guns with the DNA. Bro, it was cooked from the jump, bro. And I can't even sit here and like, but I'm thankful that Teyaurra's family got the peace that they needed. You know what I'm saying? The killer's put away. He's still awaiting trial. But bro, they all been cooked, bro. Like literally cooked. So for whoever watching this, make sure when y'all get older, if y'all kids or whatever, like halfway adults, whatever, make sure y'all don't be doing nothing like this, bro.